Hi there. This represents the last tray of lamps which were under the bed. They've been dusted over, dusted off, and look a bit more presentable. They're all neons. I didn't realise how many of these I've actually got. I've got a few more as well that are hanging up in the other room. I've picked these up over the years. As I said yesterday, they sold originally for about 4 shillings and 7p. That's obviously the English ones. In here you got some German ones, possibly Dutch. That one's Philips. That's a German one. You've got another German one at the end. If I can see it, there are in there. Now a lot of these I have put up previously, shown a light. So if you go to the early ones that I've done, you will see these in full lighting effects. Now I'm talking about this, mention must be made of a few of the shops that used to sell these. No longer with us now, but as a kid I remember visiting my aunt in Manor Park. Sheringham Avenue was the road. I won't give you the number because I can't remember the number, but she's long since gone, unfortunately. And along the road that's a turning off of the Romford Road was a very interesting surplus shop. I believe it had a couple of fronts. Ben Salmon Radio, and they did lots of ex-army things. You name it, they sold it. And they also sold quite a range of neon lamps. Also ex-Air Ministry AM. This size, the 5-watt size, also the small ones. It's always a pleasure wandering down there and having a look and see what they had. But unfortunately, that shop has now gone. Also, while we're on the Romford Road, who remembers Jukes and Company? They specialised in TVs. They always have old TVs for sale. Not perhaps as interesting as Ben Salmon's, but nevertheless quite interesting. And also there was a few other junk type shops along the Romford Road. It was always a pleasure to have a look at. Anyhow, as I've mentioned before, Servo Radio, which was near where I lived in Wimbledon, they're no longer with us. They were certainly a source of some interesting bits and pieces. Not forgetting Proops, Tottenham Court Road, was it? I think it's the Tottenham Court Road. Remember Proops? Used to walk into the shop. There was had a very long back to the shop. Interesting. Had bits and bobs in trays, all kinds of things. They were surplus as well. And I say, all these places have gone. The other names was Henry's, they were the Edgware Road, Lasky's. Any other names that I've forgotten, please excuse. If they come to me, they come to me. But anyhow, while I've been talking, I've bring something to your mind which is of interest to anyone who is seriously interested in these vintage lamps. It's the history of the electric lamp by Fin Stewart. I think I'm allowed to show this on YouTube. I don't know if it's available still. Possibly is, I don't know. but it's a CD, and this gentleman, I would think, is probably the foremost collector, and certainly his knowledge is, well, is so good. It goes back many years, and I think what he doesn't know about the early lamps or the lamps is not worth printing. He's got excellent collection. I haven't seen it, not living in Australia, but that's where he comes from. And in fact, some of the lamps that I've shown in my collection came from him, as one of my subscribers made a comment about it. So, you know, as I say, I don't know if this CD is available still, but it certainly gives the whole history. It gives you the history of Fin, and on the actual CD itself you've got history of the companies worldwide, of all the names, or the best names that he knows to date, of lamp manufacturers, patents, lawsuits that were often brought between different companies, mention other names. As I say, anyone is deeply interested in these things, also visit a site, KiloCats. They are very good. KiloCats spelt with a K instead of a C, KiloCats, and they cover a lot of old lamps. But this gentleman certainly knew old lamps, and it's a pleasure reading. You've got histories of companies, Westinghouse, Tesla, General Electric, Siemens, Osram, to mention a few names, and he knew his stuff. And I can certainly recommend this. As I said before, I don't know if it is still available. It's got the number there. So if anyone's interested, I suggest they probably contact KiloCats. May know if it's available still. I don't know, so I do apologise. But anyhow, it's certainly something to pick up, because it has a lot of interest, and he does know his stuff. You know, he's well known and very well written, this CD. Anyhow, I'm going to stop talking now. The next batch of lamps which I'm sorting out, the only reason I'm really doing this is to let people see what is available, and it also gives me a record of what lamps I've got, and also gives me a chance to do a bit of dusting, which I'm not very good at. Anyhow, so once again, thanks for watching. Sorry I haven't gone into details of each one of these lamps. I don't think there's need to, really. Neon lamps are quite interesting. I've got other ones as well. So will suffice to say that hopefully you'll be interested in these. Once again, please comment, please subscribe, please like, all the things you do on YouTube. Anyhow, thanks again. Thank you.